This isn't a hobby, this is a standard. The purpose of Loyal Guardian Canine is about creating better humans for our dogs and family units. Your dog and your family don't need comfort, they need leadership, real leadership. The kind that doesn't fold under pressure, doesn't make excuses, and doesn't run when it gets hard. A true guardian is disciplined, present, and accountable. Your dog reflects your strengths and your weaknesses. Your family feels your inconsistencies, so fix it. Loyalty isn't about words, it's weight, it's sacrifice, it's showing up every day with clarity, strength, and control. No tolerance for half effort, no tolerance for weak leadership. You either become the standard or everything under your care pays the price. What's good, everyone? Just out here getting after it once again. You know what it is, and I hope all you guys out there are doing just the same, continuing on this journey to be able to create better individuals to give back to your dogs and your family units. Now, I've got a bone to pick with the dog industry, no pun intended. But the longer that I've been in this game, surrounding myself in this industry when it comes to dogs, the more that I seem to observe that the industry is actually shifting away and moving away from the moral obligation that should be upheld to the dogs, understanding that we are dealing with a living, breathing creature, that we are working with a being with a mind, body, and soul of its own. So that being said, should we not be prioritizing the best interests of the dogs first and foremost under our care? There is nothing within this world that will make right wrong and that will make wrong right. Objective morality is a real thing, and this should be at the forefront of our personal conduct and what it is that we participate in when it comes to our dogs. So that being said, where shall I start? I might start with some of these rescue organisations, whether that be publicly funded, non-for-profit, or government-funded rescues or shelters. The turnaround time that some of these facilities participate in, it's first in, best dressed for a vast majority of them. Bring the dog in, whoever wants it. Oh, you like that dog? No worries, here you go. Oh, you like that dog? No worries, there you go. Do you not see a problem with that? Understanding that not every person is suitable for any dog. That some dogs are not suitable for most people. But then yet, you hand these dogs off willy-nilly for whoever wants them, first in, best dressed, yeah? You line your own pockets when you're doing so, yeah? You hide behind the validation that you're a good person. Oh, look at all the dogs that I've saved, yeah? Yeah, right. You're delusional. If you actually cared for the dogs, if you actually wanted to do right by the dogs, if you held yourself to the moral obligation of doing the right thing by these dogs, you would make sure that they are housed accordingly, that the homes were safe environments, that the people were suitable for that dog, that their personalities matched with the temperament of the animal, that their lifestyles that they can provide to the dog matches well with the quality of life that the human can give back to the dog. Really, think about it. Do not excuse the reasons why you want to rationalize and negotiate with yourself of why it's okay for you to veer off course here. All I'm doing is advocating for the voiceless, for what cannot advocate for themselves. As a rescue organisation, this should be at the forefront of your conduct. of what it is that you're doing within your program when you are placing dogs into new homes. And for some of you people out there, this is another topic that veers off into all areas of the dog industry. Think about the numbers that are within these facilities, from rescues to kennels to boarding facilities to different training facilities. Ask yourself, how can they adequately provide for so many dogs? A lot of these places, their numbers are rising upwards from 20, 50, 100 plus at a time. If you were to leave your dog in such an environment, you would want your dog to be out for at least an hour a day, would you not? I know I would. They actually need more than that within just time spent with them to provide stability and fulfillment within their own lives, within the way that they exist. Understanding that the mind is designed for challenge, for interaction, for adventure, for new environments, that the body needs to exert itself to release itself of pent-up energy. The body is designed to run, jump, push, pull, to do the things that nature intended it to do, is it not? So think about how this is to come into play for your animal, and how these facilities can appropriately provide that when their numbers are rising upwards of what I just previously mentioned, 20, 50, 100 plus. 20 dogs, that's 20 hours in a day. Even with staff, you might knock that down to what, 15, 12? And that's at 20. What about the operations that have numbers that are rising upwards of 50 and 100? Please, I'm all ears. How do you adequately provide for these dogs in such a way, providing them with adequate mental and physical stimulus and outlets? When doing so, let's do the maths, because the maths ain't lying. Let's use a little bit of discernment when we think about this, yeah? Have a look at the mindset and at the mental state of the animals under their care. Are they stable? Are they fulfilled? Is there peace and harmony within the environment that they are providing to them? Can you actually physically view where your dogs are to be kept? If not, well, that's a major red flag there, then, isn't it? For some of you breeders out there, everything that I just mentioned about the numbers that you're keeping is to be put into the forefront of what it is that we are practicing, yeah? But what about what it is that you're actually aiming towards within your breeding programs? If you are not aiming towards the health, function, and stability within the temperament of the animal, what is it that you're actually striving for within your breeding program? Because for a lot of you breeders out there, that's the last thing that you people are actually striving for. And that is a huge issue. If you are not pushing towards that within the forefront and prioritizing that within your main objective within your breeding program, I'll be the first one to tell you, get the fuck out of the game, get the fuck away from these dogs. If you are pushing coat colors, if you are exaggerating certain physical attributes, remember that the health and function, the sound temperament of the animal must come first. And if not, leave the dogs alone. You are bringing a living, breathing soul into existence. You are essentially playing God. And what gives you the right to bring a being into existence that is trapped within its own body? Some of these bullies that I'm seeing, they can't even walk properly. They can't breathe properly. Cleft palate, bowed legs, saddled back. For some of you other breeders out there, emphasizing on certain coats, coat colors, what is it that you're actually doing? Do you not understand that with a lot of these traits come with genetic health issues that get passed on along the lines? Do you understand that when you're putting one dog over another, that it's actually the genetic makeup of the dog that you're playing with? And do you understand the importance of how the predecessors of said dogs actually complement each other within the areas of function, health, and temperament? Because if you do not understand that simple concept first and foremost, you have no right being around these dogs. And let me move on to some of the trainers out there. A lot of you people out there, you keep pushing the fact that everything is a training issue. And for some people, yes, this may be the case, but when dealing with the general public, it's not so much a training issue that they're struggling with, but rather it is a relationship issue. Please tell me where sit, drop and stay alone has brought fulfillment into the dog. You're compliant for your own work, are you not? For a lot of you career-driven people out there. But does that really mean that you're stable, happy and fulfilled within your own life, within your own existence? There are people out there that are multi-millionaires and they are compliant to the orders that they are given due to the reward through monetary value that they are to receive, but then yet mentally and internally they are distraught. There is something not right within their existence, within their mindset, within their way of being, within the way that they are living life, within their relationships, that is causing this disturbance, this turbulence in their own internal way of existing. So let's address that first and foremost. And yes, ideally, training should be the emphasis of relationship. But for a lot of you trainers out there, we've all seen it. You may have the fancy healing, you may have the fancy obedience, but then yet you cannot live with your own dogs behind closed doors. Even people that are awarded on a national level that struggle to live with their dogs behind closed doors. Those of you who are guilty of this know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. And I'm just using this point to emphasize that what really needs to be pushed is competence back on the human's end, is fulfillment within our own being, in our own lives, within our own emotional and mind states. We need competence in who we are to be able to provide a healthy leadership role model for our dogs to put that instinctual faith and trust into following once again. Think about it like this. Dogs in the wild, they have absolutely zero concept of sit, drop, stay, do this, do that. But then yet, there is healthy order and healthy respect within the pack that leads back into survival value and fulfillment of their existence. Is there not? This is something that runs much deeper than training alone, but it has everything to do with the accountability that is to be brought back onto the human. So let's bring the emphasis back into creating better humans for our dogs, instead of blaming the dog for everything. Why would the concept change when the relationship is between a human and a dog, not just between dogs and dogs? Please, I'm all ears. because these are things that run much deeper on an instinctual level, on a biological level, compared to the ways that us humans want to rationalize with why this isn't a thing. How many people out there have been to puppy school? Their dogs know all the commands, but then yet are still living unfulfilled lives and are riddled with different behavioral issues. What is it that situation is telling you about what the problem is? Ask yourself that. Again, these are lifestyle and relationship issues, not training issues. So let's bring the accountability back onto the human. Again, advocating for who cannot advocate for themselves, advocating for the voiceless, and bringing the accountability back onto the humans, because we're supposed to be the intellectual species, are we not? Allow that one to sink in. At the end of the day, we don't own dogs, we owe dogs. A brother told me that back in the day. We owe it to them to be worthy of such love and devotion. We owe it to them due to the unwavering loyalty that they share with us. We owe it to them for the trust that they put into us. And for those of you out there that really do love their animals, you're going to understand what it is that I'm talking about. Allow that one to sink in. There's a lot more that I can go on about, but generally speaking, when it comes to our dogs and this industry, these are just some of the thoughts that come to the forefront. I hope that helps. God bless. Peace.